The fuck is? What's that, buddy? Oh yeah, it's the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's stream. We've got a new person here for the second time. Everyone say hello. Oh shit! Sorry, I meant to maximize you. Everyone say hi to Eli Ben Dragon. So we watched in what arguably is my opinion the best Godzilla movie in recent years. Godzilla
It's not
minus
just
one. Go ahead.
it's not just an opinion. I mean, it's damn near a fact.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would call that
Absolutely.
objective truth. Objective truth, yes.
Yeah. Hold on, just switching my microphone. Okay, how am I coming in now?
good.
Just fine.
Immaculate.
So, duh. Okay, so for the a lot of people have been complaining about the MonsterVerse. That we spend too much time focused on the people and not focused on the monsters. Mainly because the people are, well, ratchet and boring,
Yes,
right?
more or less. They're
Um,
just generic characters. We got generic army guys, military personnel. I mean, the only person in the MonsterVerse that was somewhat interesting of a person was Bryan Cranston's character and darn it, I almost forgot his name. It's Bryan Cranston, and we also got darn Ken Watanabe's character,
but
Dr. Shirazawa.
don't forget the MonsterVerse also plays deeply into the fact of usually of magic ethnic person. Like you have the little girl who can talk to Godzilla and King Kong, who's from
Well,
Yeah,
to
with
be fair,
the
that
sign
was
language, with King Kong,
Yeah.
yeah.
to
But
be
you're saying-
fair, I understand the King Kong thing and I can understand the Godzilla thing because in the really old one, I forget which one it is. It's either Toho or the other one, or not Toho, Shoho. But if you remember, there was a little girl that could talk. Always a little girl that could talk with Mothra. So
Yes.
we know that kaiju have telekinetic abilities as is.
Telepathic.
Well,
Yeah,
Or that's what I meant.
there was
Telepathic. Oh, my brain.
in two of the previous continuities, there was an entire school of psychics that could speak to the kaiju.
Yeah.
So I mean, that did
yeah, but
happen.
none of that has been like any of that good stuff. It's not being put into the MonsterVerse.
Well,
I mean,
no,
it's
in the newest one, in the newest Godzilla Kong team up movie, they pretty much showed us the psychic connections.
I have to watch that.
It's
So-
not bad.
Yeah.
Think of the
Okay.
MonsterVerse. Think of the MonsterVerse as like WWE versus well, no, seriously, it's a show. It's a grand, spectacular, over the top show versus the actual Toho films right now. They're doing something a little different. Now, Shin Godzilla was a monster movie, was an actual hardcore, fear him above all monster movie. Versus this movie, Godzilla minus one, this movie made you fear the monster, showed him to be the obstacle that he was meant to be, while making you actually love and care about the human characters. And I
Yes.
enjoyed that.
So a bit of backstory for this movie. This movie was set. It opens up in 1945. When we don't know. But gamer, when would you suggest?
Literally around the last days of the Second World
I
War.
Yeah.
was putting it like the last 2 weeks of July in 1945.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the war was ending.
Yeah, so last 2 weeks of the war, it opens up on Odo Island in Japan, where a pilot lands and he's like, "Hey, I need to get my plane sorted," and he meets like down and out. Honestly, they're like on their last legs themselves, energy wise, like material wise, moral wise, where they like just the last of the Imperial like Navy mechanics. They're like, "Hey, yeah, we gotta go home. Everything's over. Woo!" And while they're repairing his plane for one mission we didn't know at the time, but turned out that he was a kamikaze pilot.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
you can highly assume it by the way he's acting.
Japanese.
Yes, but
No.
officially being able to call in sick on a suicide mission is hilarious.
Yeah,
Or flee, or in his case, he fled. He fled.
yeah.
Yeah, but you get
But
my
Yeah,
meaning.
Shikizima Zuma.
yeah,
Or
um,
Shikishima, yeah.
yeah,
Koichi
Shikishima.
Shikishima. Yes, he
Yeah.
flees from battle. He meets with the chief engineer Tachibana.
Mm-hmm. Who and ends up so Godzilla attacks. Now I have a question for you guys. Right? Everyone here. The Godzilla in Hey Taylor Swift, Godzilla in this one, right? We know he is not a radioactive created being. Right?
No,
Do
it's
you
We don't know that. They never
well
really give us an origin.
oh yeah.
yeah,
Well-
but again, the same thing happens. Like the fit, like the deep sea fish rising up was a sign that Godzilla was coming.
Which
Yeah,
meant that he'd
that-
been there
Even
before.
before that.
That said, that we've also got to look at the one other movie that is very similar to that, and that'd be Shin Godzilla. We have
Yes.
no true. They never gave us a definitive answer because they gave us everything from myth to science in it, but never said where the fucker came from.
Yeah.
I believe myself that he is an Oni.
I mean, most likely,
Yeah, I get that.
Oh.
but
Yes, but just because he's one doesn't mean he's not the other as well.
Yeah, what? Oh,
Well,
I
again,
forget.
I mean, they say he's some sort of like some prehistoric, some dinosaur that still somehow survived even into the
And he could
modern
literally
age.
be all three.
Yeah,
well,
It
and
could be
what's
like-
really interesting about that is, unfortunately, they've traveled that route before in Godzilla 2000. So
hmm. So they now we actually get to see Japan after the war, after the
Yeah.
surrender.
mhm.
Yeah, and of course we already know before that. Yeah, Godzilla attacks pretty much
Yeah.
everyone on the base except Shikizima. Damn, I keep
Just call him
But didn't
Shiki.
expect to be
or
blocked by
Koichi.
Shaq.
Yeah, Koichi. After Koichi and Tachibana are the only ones still alive.
Oh yeah, and he's on a boat, which a lot of the hey DJ, a lot of the stuff I'm noticing myself from this is it's like the director has taken a lot of stuff from Dunkirk. Like the way everyone was sitting on the boats. Like I'm talking about the cinematography.
The
Yeah.
cinematography and the tension building. I definitely agree with that. There was
Yeah.
a lot because that was 9/10 of this movie was the tension, how much acting was done without them even talking. You know,
Oh, yeah.
this movie was the epitome of heart above money.
Yeah.
Well, and considering they had damn near no money to do it.
This movie, so I have it up here, had a $10 million dollar budget, but its box office made over 113 million.
Wonder why.
And yeah, exactly. When
And
you actually
continues to make money. They still have not quit re-releasing this movie in theaters.
yeah, there's actually a festival in Tokyo that for Godzilla, and they've released this in black and white.
Yeah, there was a version. I actually did watch another version that was in black and white.
Yeah,
when
but
I
get
went to the
this.
theater, yeah.
This is the interesting thing. You know the Edo people, the native on the upper island in Japan? The native group.
Then on the northernmost island of
Yes.
the archipelago. Okay.
There's a version of this in that language.
Ooh, wow.
Like
That's
it's
interesting,
a dub,
but
but I'm just saying how
Yeah, that-
popular it is.
yeah.
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, Godzilla is like one of the great icons of the nation of Japan. And
Exactly.
I mean, and again, hell, he even has his own stuff. He has a statue in his honor in Tokyo. He even has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame here in here stateside in California. And just again, this also came out. 2023 marked, or 2024 marked his 70th anniversary.
Exactly. He's an old man at this
Well,
stage.
for better or for worse, Godzilla represents the coming together of America and Japan for all the good and bad that means all at once.
True. Very true.
Yeah, a lot of culture spawned from a lot of culture had spawned from the ashes after. I mean, even though it was the most horrific thing in human history to ever do, and the first time we've ever actually did. But I got a bad feeling that might change in the future. But who knows?
Let's not talk about that stuff. But you know why you actually get to see, apart like the development, you get to see them going from the old style Japanese where they were wearing kimonos in the 40s, right? Then later on, like towards like 47, when the rest of the movie is mainly set, they're wearing westernized clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the girlfriend. Noiko. Yeah, she shows up wearing a worker's outfit from like the 50s in America, and he's like, "Wait, don't I make enough money?" It's like, "No, bitch, Japan's destroyed." It's like we all need money.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Yeah, he goes out. Yeah, again, Koichi he gets a government paid job where he's gonna go out and be a sea minesweeper essentially.
Yeah, which is absolutely like
in a
dangerous, but
specialized boat.
It sounds pretty fun, honestly.
In a specialized boat, specifically for not attracting the magnetized mines.
They use wood boats. Yeah, wooden boats, because if the boats were metal, they would have been attracted to them because they were magnetic.
The magnetic, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, but it also bears mentioning. First of all, she didn't get the job because he wasn't making enough money. She got the job because he wouldn't commit to her and to being with her.
Right. She already said, "I always dreamt of being independent," and you won't stand to get a wife. It's like, idiot, just say you love her.
Well,
God.
Well, but that was the problem. That was the thing. He still wasn't out of the war yet. He's still mentally.
He was traumatized, but he was traumatized by the war, and that's what makes like Koichi's character so amazing.
He literally thought
he was
that
traumatized.
Godzilla.
Yeah, he was traumatized by Godzilla. He was traumatized by the war and traumatized further by Godzilla.
But it's pretty edgy for her for 1947 Japan to want to being that independent.
Oh yeah.
That caught my attention immediately.
I thought she had gotten the job in Ginza. I thought she got
the fact that she would even be going for a job.
Yeah.
That is very out of character for Japanese society. And now you're talking about post World War II.
But she was trying to get his attention.
Right away. What's that?
Oh yeah.
She was trying to get his attention. It was supposed to be provocative.
Right, but I'm agreeing with you. What I'm saying is it's still very out there for 1947 Japan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very closed society. But then again, granted, the American forces had been there for 2 years, but it's still quite a leap.
Well, and they were still like broken as a society over there.
Yeah, I mean the house. That house was amazing. It had 4 walls, which was like the only house with 4 walls.
But did you notice anything? It started off as a room, a box, right?
Yeah. A shantytown shelter. Yeah.
And then by 47, it was a house. Like it had a little extension on it, and it's like, oh, he found walls.
Yeah. He probably used all that money to make the materials, to find all the materials, and built the house out of it with his own 2 hands.
Yeah, he had a legitimate door because when it first started.
Again, same thing. Yeah, Noriko. Again, she was orphaned, and again, she found a baby, Akiko, and that's the whole point. The best thing I also really like about this movie is that it was a found family.
It absolutely is. Like even the guys who, when they started working on the boat, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're working."
Meeting with Captain, I can't. It's hard to pronounce his name. I can't pronounce it. But you also had Mizushima, the youngest greenhorn, and of course,
Yes.
Dr. Noda, who
Yeah.
honestly is my favorite character. Dr. Noda is my favorite
Well,
character.
and I love how much emphasis they put on that. How the way their culture was. There were two things that really stuck out to me, and we see it a lot in the scene where they're all at dinner together. And my favorite aspect of this movie was how badly the young guy wanted to prove himself that he was just as strong as the rest of them, and how badly the rest of them wanted him to just enjoy the fact that he had not been to war, especially that war.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I also love,
He was eager to defend his country, even though he never got the, he never got drafted as a soldier.
Well, he definitely got his chance, and he definitely proved himself. But,
definitely.
But the thing is, I think my favorite aspect, like minor aspect of this movie, is that it would have been very easy. This is post World War II Japan, but instead of blaming, through a modern director's eyes, and instead of blaming the United States or blaming Japan entirely, the captain literally goes on a spiel about how all these governments are the same. And that hit really hard for me. That was incredible.
Yeah, because again, in war, it doesn't even matter. We're fighting for a government. It's the people who suffer. Your neighbors suffer.
Yeah, and even when all the ex-Navy guys, they're like, hey, does this mean certain death? It's like, no, well, that's better odds than the war. Like, yeah, we're up.
Yeah, we're in. We're doing something that actually matters to our country.
Exactly.
I know some of them, they chose not to fight because again, they care more about protecting their families. And again, the captain said, don't worry. Yeah, if you don't want to do this, nobody's stopping you. Go home and be with your families.
Well, and not just their country. Like, that's the best part about this. They had no idea how big Godzilla was going to get, how powerful he was or wasn't. They did this for the entire world. Like, them stopping Godzilla there didn't just save Japan. And that's, again, these men got together and fought as hard as they could for the sake of the entire world. And it was a really well put together, well written story.
But yeah, because Godzilla wouldn't have stopped at Japan. He would have gone to China and made his way through the lands and just demolish the world.
Possibly.
But Gamer, as our resident time traveler, what do you think of the historical stuff about this? How do you think it portrayed? Thank you, Brain. How do you think it portrayed the era that I was in?
Oh, I thought it was fairly accurate. I mean, the devastation. I was early in the film. I was looking it up because they were mentioning the city that they're by, and I'm like, okay, that's by Sendai. It would be more northern central Japan, but I realized they were actually talking about a suburb outside of Tokyo.
Yeah.
So I thought that was accurate. I like the opening scenes on the ships you were mentioning earlier. How they said a lot without saying anything when they're on the ships. It was very consistent with, the end of the war, where you'd have everybody coming home on ships like that. Those would be the only ships you would have.
Oh yeah,
and the cargo ship or whatever, they're all kind of huddled together on.
Yeah, it's more of it's one of those personnel transport.
Right, and the thing
the ones they stormed the beaches of Normandy with.
Yeah,
the thing that I noticed, I wasn't sure if this was intentional or not, was whether the colorization. I don't know whether the director was trying to make it look like it was a colorized World War II film, or trying to get that early colorization 1947 feel.
He was trying to get the early colorization feel.
Yeah, because that's how it felt. So you felt like you were looking at something that could have come from 1940. Because I was looking at that like, wait a minute, is that stock footage or is that something that they actually did?
Yeah, but did you notice a lot of the actors had the old school 40s makeup on?
I did not notice that.
Yeah, the actors, they had not the modern foundation for movies that they have on, but they had the old school foundation that you only notice when it's colorized. Shishiki had it on. You really notice when Godzilla first came out of the water and he held on. Right, it was the foundation was kind of, it looked a bit sloppy, but when you realize what
Shigikuma.
they're doing, when you realize what they're doing, it's a callback to the 1940s style.
I also had questions about the uniforms.
Yeah.
We were discussing it. I'm not sure that they wouldn't have had the Imperial flag on their uniforms as opposed to just the ordinary Japanese flag.
I think that was for modern purposes like censorship.
No,
Censorship
I think it
stuff.
was. But if you're trying to make it historically accurate, I mean, it would be no different than if you had Germans in World War II.
Yes.
Yeah,
You,
well,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
the
that
sensitivities for
was
the
the comparison
swastika.
I
But
was
it's like,
about
wait
to
a minute,
make.
are we historically accurate or are we not? You know.
Yeah.
but in Japan though, in saying that, and a lot of like historical stuff, right beside the emperor's flag, like if they're doing let's say a festival, right? Beside the emperor's flag, they'll have the rising sun flag. Then they'll have the standard Japanese flag. It's like all the flags that they used to have, but like the Navy flag that your man, like the US, the Navy, not the US Navy, the Imperial Navy and the Imperial Air Force all had the Rising Sun Empire logo on the shoulder. And I do think what Bubba's saying, it for cosplay reasons, it makes sense. But
Oh no! But you were asking me from a time travel standpoint.
historical.
I noticed that immediately, and then I was looking. While we're watching the rest of the film, I was trying to see if I could see it anywhere, and I didn't pick it
was
up
nowhere.
on the aircraft, which was supposed to be from the era, or on the ship's flags. So, like I say, it's just something I noticed. It didn't detract from the film, but me with my background, I noticed it right away.
Absolutely. Like now, where I know it would have been gone was the battle cruisers that they got back.
Correct.
The Imperial stuff would have been gone.
Yeah, because that's already
Right.
1947, so that would make total sense.
Remember the destroyer that they got that Godzilla wrecked? Did you notice that there was a big hole at the front of the pointer? That was where they would have had the Imperial crescent on it. They took that off.
I thought the one that got wrecked was an American ship.
It was originally Japanese handed over to the Americans and they got it back.
Oh.
Right, for the express purpose of engaging.
Yeah.
Okay. And one other elephant in the room here, with a budget, with such a low budget, in fact, a budget less for the entirety of the movie than that one tiny little CGI reshoot of the Justice League. How come all of Godzilla looked better than Henry Cavill's upper lip?
The Godzilla looks amazing in this film.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Godzilla
One of my
looks amazing.
favorite designs thus far, and it kindly rivals the very original. Kind of reminiscent of it, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It like this is the 10th movie of the current era of Japanese movies. Like for Godzilla stuff.
Neo Heisei.
No, they call it. Hold on, let me read what they call it. Rewa.
Oh, Rewa Heisei was after that. Was just before, or Neo Heisei?
Before that. Yeah, this is the current. It's the 5th installment of the Rewa
Casey
era.
was 87 to 95.
Yeah. But
Neo Heisei was like 2010s or.
Yeah. The only place I genuinely felt that they could have used a tad more budget, I'm trying to find it on Netflix, right? Is the tank scene.
Yeah, the tanks were. Yeah, they clearly were just CGI'd in.
Well, yeah, but it's like they're not just CGI'd in; they're bad CGI'd in, which was hilarious to me.
Oh, I didn't think they were CGI. I thought those were models.
No, there was CGI.
No CGI. Well, then they could have bumped the budget just a little there.
Yeah. And one of the funny things is for all the Godzilla, this Godzilla's fat. Like he's got his stomach. He's like, guys, don't look at me. So
again, I don't understand it. Yeah, they really made like the monster
Godzilla
a little too chunky.
No,
Godzilla's
Godzilla's
always
supposed to have a
been-
wide base, man. Godzilla's supposed to be able to take one step back and smash half your continent, man. They gave him the thighs that he deserves, damn it. That is a thick Godzilla. Do not fat shame Godzilla -1.
I'm not.
I was just gonna say, biologically speaking, if we look at it from a standpoint that is scientifically accurate, he would have to be that big.
Oh yeah, like especially.
But it
like,
does make us wonder where the hell he's getting food from.
Okay,
He's eating the last of the megalodons
no,
You know what? He's doing me a favor.
and the giant squids.
I believe he's actually eating whales. Do any of you notice? Because this is the 40s. Anyone notice? Where's the whalers?
Probably
There's no
eating.
whale.
Yeah, off at war or coming back from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they had the fisher boats were whalers back then, right?
Yeah, where do you think that rickety ass boat they used for the mining went?
Yeah, I was fixing to say they were all they were clearing out mines.
Yeah.
Man, I
Mine.
feel like if I got a government job, that's the kind of job I'd get.
Yeah, it looked like it was fun, especially if you get to shoot the gun.
Yeah, fun. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
No, Bubba, your government job is going to be dressed up as a kid with a propeller hat to entertain Joe Biden.
You know what? I do it for the cash. Anyway, okay, so let's
back
talk,
to the movie.
Let's talk about grief for a moment.
I didn't know that
portrayed.
The grief in this movie was absolutely
Yeah.
Just a minute. I want to hear what Eli Ben Dragon has to say.
Yeah. No, you don't. Let's continue.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I especially like the grief for, especially with Tachibana. It was like so well done. He
absolutely
literally
neighbor
blames Shikishima for literally just freezing up and not wanting to shoot him back. I mean, one of the guys that were hiding in the trench panicked and fired, and again drew Godzilla near them.
Yeah, but Bubba, you were saying?
I was even talking about the lady who lost her son, and then later on,
Shumiko.
Yeah, it was just everything, and the finger pointing and the blaming and the anguish and the fear, the uncertainty of going forward. They portrayed this so well.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the realization is that our side back then won that war, and there were many people coming out of the Great Depression and everything else, soldiers that were coming home. We felt that, like, our people felt that desperate. So knowing how desperate a lot of our people felt, seeing that played out by the side that lost was just incredible.
Absolutely. And did you notice though, all of the characters in their own way were very sad. They were depressed, desperate. I believe the captain of the boat may have lost a kid. He's basically adopted kid as a son.
Yeah. Both of them were kind of his surrogate sons.
Mizashima as like a surrogate son, essentially, kind of. I didn't really see it that way, but I mean, still.
Well, I mean, the whole group became family, though. The child, she had a surrogate grandmother, a surrogate grandfather.
Sumiko became like, I would see Sumiko as more of like a surrogate aunt or a grandma, because again, Sumiko already had she had lost all three of her children in the firebombing of Tokyo. She lost her children.
She did describe herself as aunt.
Yeah, as an aunt.
Yeah, well, still, but it was just how they, this was the perfect depiction of human resilience in all of its forms.
Like, you went from the beginning of the movie, everything is trashed, to halfway through the movie when they went to not Gozo City,
Ginza.
Thank you. When they went to Ginza City looked rebuilt. You had the wires.
It was the Ginza district of Tokyo.
That didn't last long.
Yeah, in the
well,
words
Godzilla rolling
in the
toward
words of
Hulk.
Godzilla, that no, we can't do that.
Okay,
I'm
talking
gonna
about
put a stop to this foolishness right now.
It's like beavers
talking
when they look at a dam.
Or they see a river. Yeah, we gotta damn that.
So, what did she think of Godzilla's power up?
It reminded
Oh
me
my
of
gosh,
the anime, the recent
Yeah.
it's the
Godzilla
most
anime.
dramatic.
Yeah.
That's the most dramatic looking atomic breath I had ever seen.
Oh yeah, but Gammy, you were saying?
Yeah, it reminds me of the anime.
Oh yeah, I
There
haven't
were
seen the
what,
anime.
3 Godzilla animes or 2? There were
3.
where
There
like
is
future
another.
Earth,
Godzilla
future
anime.
Earth
I
is
remember
dealing with them.
I remember the Hanna-Barbera cartoon and the
No,
continuation
No,
of the damn
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick.
no, to go
Yeah,
with
that's
this
the one I
movie,
was talking about.
to go with this movie, they actually made 3 animes.
Yeah,
Oh,
because the power up is reminiscent of that. It's very
Oh.
very similar.
Yeah,
And
They
that's why I
also
would be
go with Shin Godzilla.
would be surprised if there's a
Yep.
sequel that he gets even bigger, because that would be consistent with the anime.
oh yeah.
Well, I remember watching -1 in theaters with Caleb, or whoops, my bad, Geek.
That's
And
fine.
just
there
goes
was
by
this.
Bubba.
Yeah, okay, well, fine, Bubba. Well, that's really creative. Something that I've called him all my life. Anyway, that said, but I remember watching it in theaters with him and his at the time fiance, now wife, and we see this. Remember when he got the mine right in his mouth and it blew up?
Yes.
yep.
As soon as he started regenerating, I said, I didn't realize I said it so audibly, but I said Shin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah,
crap.
they left it. They stated that it's not, but it also could be. Like they've left this could easily, especially the way Shin Godzilla is set up, where it's been 60, 70 years since World War II, and they talked about something like this happening back in the day. This could literally be a prequel to Shin Godzilla.
Oh, wow. I actually have never seen Shin Godzilla. I need to
So
watch
I
it.
have.
Oh,
You would enjoy it.
You want to talk about dramatic atomic breaths? You watch that and tell me you didn't piss yourself.
So building on that, what they could do is, remember he fell apart. How he turned into chunks and
He basically disintegrated.
yeah. So you could say he rebuilt himself. Now, because his head is destroyed, so much of his body, because you saw his atomic breath, or as they called it, the heat breath,
Heat ray.
hurt him. It hurt
Yeah.
him to use. His face is burning. Sometimes when he used it really strong, he was actually missing parts of his face. Right? If he... Go ahead.
Did y'all see the after credit scene?
No?
Oh, crap.
After credit scene?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a chunk of just his eye floating there, and then suddenly a silver film pops over it, which that's the same thing Shin Godzilla's eye does.
How long is it, seconds-wise? Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Give me a second. Because I might be able to get away with it with no sound, okay? Just
While you're
finish.
looking it up, I was trying to find the name of the film that I watched. It's Godzilla Planet of the Monsters, and there's a sequel to that one.
Is it a recent sequel?
Yeah, Planet of the Monsters is 2017. The sequel is 2018.
Okay. Right, let's try not to get hit for this, boys, girls, and squirrels. Okay. So I'm just going to have to keep pausing every few seconds, okay? So keep watching. There's the chunk of fat. Notice it's already moving.
No, but that's not post credits. That's
Yeah,
like
you got after the credits, Tato.
Yeah.
Scroll to about the last minute.
This is the only thing.
Oh, wait. I guess it wasn't in credits. I might have mistaken it for this. So this part right here, when the blob seems to be regenerating, its eye opens and then you see the silver film over it.
Yeah.
That
Sorry,
right there.
could be where Shin comes from.
Yeah. And considering if he's anything like Majin Buu or someone like that,
No, the thing where it shows
separate
over there,
pieces of him.
that's actually during the movie when they do the atomic bomb scene in 46.
What you were saying? It was like Majin Buu?
Yeah, so if he's anything like a character that regenerates, hell, even like Deadpool now, if there is a separate piece of him lodged somewhere unknown, it could grow a whole nother species, hence G cells coming into the picture.
Which you could also, like, say, what if that's how it reproduces? By, like, dropping chunks of itself off? Because the thing is, if this is the original, let's say this is the only Godzilla, the only that came from the land of wind and rain, right? If this is the only that came from there, at one stage it might have been a sea guardian that got corrupted, right? What's the
That would
the
explain the two baby Godzillas from Hanna-Barbera in the original movies.
Yeah. What's the antithesis of an Oni? I know there's two groups. There's the Oni and then there's the other ones.
The mutant one, you said?
No,
Like
no.
Like the
Yokai?
Thank you.
Or Oni, or you thought he was like a dinosaur?
What if it was an Oni who became a yokai?
Is there a difference?
Yes.
Aren't they basically the same thing? I mean, Oni
it is
basically
paper thin. It is very paper thin because it's oh god, I haven't read Japanese myth in so long.
Well, I know about yokai from in Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger. Most of the monsters they faced were deemed as yokai.
Mm-hmm.
Yokai are essentially ghosts. Oni are gods. But when a god gets corrupted and becomes a yokai, they become horrific. Oh, you know who he could be? And this is going weirdly into mythology. He could be one of the demon sons of the first Japanese woman.
Or he could be Nobunaga reincarnated.
Okay, what is coming up with these bizarre theories you guys are coming up with for what Godzilla actually is?
I'm just playing along with the game here.
Yeah.
Or you could assume you know what? This is a very weird thing to remember out of the blue. So there is actually a dinosaur that was discovered in the United States that they named Gojirasaurus.
Really?
Yes.
So, back to the movie for a minute. Well, for the rest of the stream. We run on tangents here. So, Gamer, you were talking, you found the plane very interesting?
Yeah, when they were in the warehouse or hangar, whatever you want to call it, they're showing an airplane. I don't want to say alarm bells were going off, but I'm like, wait a minute. They're saying that this airplane's been sitting here, since the war. People forgot about it.
Yeah, and again, and they said
like, no, because I said there's no way
they were prototypes.
The post World War II MacArthur governorship of Japan would have let something like that escape. So I looked it up quickly. There were only 2 of those airplanes ever made.
Yeah,
one,
which is what they said.
Yeah, in the movie they said
the one had
bills.
a test flight, and I believe was it disassembled? I don't know if it was disassembled, but the second one, so the one that this is in theory, was disassembled and was taken back to the United States. So I just noticed it. And I'm like, okay, they're playing it loose with history, kind of like with the uniforms. It's an interesting airplane, and it's a real airplane.
Yeah, it was.
but
It
they
was
would
meant
not
to.
have had
It was meant.
access to it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
meant to intercept and destroy bombers, as they said.
Right.
And one talking about
If bombers came toward the mainland.
yeah, but talking about uniforms, one of the things I noticed. Did anyone notice none of the pockets closed?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, when you have surplus like that, and they're cheap at that,
None of the pockets close.
Yeah,
No.
in the blue uniforms on the naval ship, like when they were whatever the Japanese Navy became, right, the defense force. Yeah, none of their pockets closed. Like all their shirt pockets were flapping in the wind. Every single one of them. Yeah. Like
I just.
and I'm what?
This is a stupid joke that I thought.
Go ahead.
Okay, so warehouse, hangar. Let's just meet in the middle and go at a hangar.
Or barn.
Like so, okay. The plan to get rid of Godzilla.
And it's ingenious. I will say it's ingenious. It's ingenious guerrilla ingenuity right there.
Yeah, every other all the American Godzillas usually result.
Yeah, just shoot a bunch of tanks, guns, and missiles at it, and maybe it'll take it down. No,
Just shoot until it stops moving. Is usually how the American Godzillas work. Just
or puncture him and blow him up from the inside kind of tactics.
Yeah. So they came up with this idea of they were going to get him with
keeping him in the freezer until later.
Yeah, Freon gas and sink him at the bottom of a trench.
Then if that didn't work,
which is very close to the way they dealt with Shin Godzilla.
Yeah. This actually does take a lot of inspiration from. I'm looking it up from Shin Godzilla.
Yeah.
A lot of the people are asking, is he going to make this a prequel? I'm reading about it now, and the director's refusing to answer.
Well, there may be a reason as of why Shin Godzilla didn't show up in the same bay.
Yeah. My daddy fucked it up. So the plan was to get him with a floaty belt, drop him to the bottom of the ocean, drag him back up again, and drop him back down. Which is absolutely genius.
Yes.
Like when
it's a great part of the film, knowing that the U.S. military is not going to be involved, and you don't have a quote unquote Japanese military. So I agree. It's genius. It deals with real science, with the whole dropping to the the trench and then bringing them back up, basically to give them the bends. So that's a really good part of the film.
This is essentially a bunch of rednecks in the middle of the South trying to figure out how to noodle for fish in the ocean.
Pretty much.
That's a really weird analogy.
No, trust me, I've got Irish redneck cousins and family members. No, that I've seen that shit. I've also got American redneck cousins. Yes.
As a person who was born and raised in Tennessee, I'm vaguely offended by that.
Why? Redneck is why? A redneck is someone who works out in the sun. My family.
The fact that you think everyone in the South are completely all ass backward morons. Yeah, there are some, but some are actually okay.
Hold the fuck up.
That's not what he said, man. He's talking about the redneck ingenuity. If I don't have if I don't have all of the right equipment, let's make what we've got the right equipment. When you end up holding it together with duct tape and JB weld, if it gets the job done, it got the job done.
I never stated where
catching a catfish without a fishing line. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's,
but I never stated
are you guys seriously had to go on a tangent to explain this crap? Look, all I'm saying is that this is just a simple guerrilla science endeavor to try to stop Godzilla and not just have to just use brute force on him.
Yeah. So one of the things that you thought that they killed Godzilla because he was about to use his atomic breath, and then his entire spine just went to a boom. Like it
Yep.
just turned out.
Yep. He just
Did
shut
you
off.
notice? Yeah, did you notice when he came back up? A lot of his, a good bit of his scales were missing.
He was iced over too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say he looked frozen.
Hey guys. What the fuck? Oh, okay. I don't know who that is, but okay. Anyway, guy, yo, good to see you, man. So yeah, so when the spines went down, boom, it came back up. They are really fucking Godzilla up. Like he is having a bad day. But it makes me wonder. I have one very stupid question. How the hell is he walking?
Well, that's
With
the problem
plot
we have.
armor.
Even when Bubba was referring to the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, you got this giant. Let's call him a dinosaur. Well, the water's at depth, so you're right. How is he at his waist, just kind of walking around? I guess
To
you're
be
not supposed
fair,
to
they've
do that, or not supposed to question it.
Later. Yeah, true. But Eli, what were you saying?
they've explained it, and I just consider it because they don't really give us any proof that he's not magical. I just assumed he was using a type of magic that he could, because they said something about him creating hydrogen bubbles under him to walk.
Ah,
So it's very. I just assumed that's. But hey, you know what they say about assuming.
but so the way that they oh shit, my microphone. Hey, Goober, good to see you.
This is the weirdest game of hot potato I've ever heard.
Larg.
You think I'm a hot potato? Oh. So, okay. So the plane in this was absolute. Like I love the plane. I genuinely did.
Yeah, no, it's nice. Yeah,
it is. But Takishima, it was revealed later on after
Fukushima.
the mechanic, the Tuki.
Oh, Tachibana.
Yeah, Tachibana. So he was going to Shukishima was going to I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Hey, Levy boy. How to say it for user friendly. He was going to kamikaze himself.
Yeah, Shikizima was gonna kamikaze and try to make up for everything he did, everything he feared doing before, to try to atone for his mistake and die honorably because he now has something to die for.
And so he just slams in, and then all the bomb in the plane explodes. Godzilla's head goes away, and everyone's there. You look at it first, and you're like, "Fuck!" He did what I was going to do, and he turns around, and you're like, "Hey, look, guys, over there!" And you see the parachutes coming down, and that's when we learned that the safety, which I thought originally when he was going to pull the safety, I thought that was going to be the ejector seat button. That he was lying to him and saying, "No, man, pull this safety and pull it, boom, off he goes." But turned out that
a lot of us thought that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it turned out it was a lever over to the side of him.
It would have been a lot funnier, let's admit.
It would have, but I have a dark sense of humor. I think it would have been funny if the lid didn't open and he just slammed his head off the top.
Well, I was thinking Independence Day when that scene was coming up. It's like,
basically like Goose.
Well, yeah, but the whole point of this was that there were no casualties.
Yeah, hold on, Gamer. What did you say?
No, I said when that scene started coming up, it was like, wait a minute, this is Independence Day. I've seen this scene before, and then obviously it doesn't go that way with him ejecting, but
oh yeah,
it had the whole Randy Quaid feel to it.
It does, and then we get, and I'm sorry, at the end of the movie, I'm going to admit it. I thought it was fucking stupid. Her surviving. I thought that was stupid.
No, yeah, I thought her pushing him in between the buildings was
that
unnecessary
scene- that
drama
scene
because she could have
impossible.
just tackled them and
Yeah.
gone between the buildings with him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Noriko should have just, or at least like Koichi should have just grabbed her and held on to her between those
This
two
is
buildings.
a movie about a giant world destroying lizard.
We need
So
realism,
I
oh, sir.
But
Yeah.
even at that, bear in mind, despite the fact that she's mothering a child and she's a surrogate wife to a guy that doesn't want to accept it, the fact of the matter is that she's still very young. She's not, and there's a massive tragedy unfolding. She's not thinking clearly. Her pushing him and then getting, absolutely dusted, and then we find out later she wasn't. But
Yeah.
only
that made
only a
sense.
quarter of her face was dusted.
Yeah, but the point, that was improbable, but that's, again, it's a movie. But,
Well, and some of her arm, but
given
her
that
arm was
tragedy,
broken.
though,
Yeah, she
Yeah.
had a serious eye injury that might just heal over time. It might have just been a very bad eye injury.
but given that tragedy, let's take into consideration how well they used the original score for those two parts. When he's trampling over the city, you get that feeling of hopelessness. Like everything that they have worked so hard to rebuild, everything just gone in an instant, and there is nothing they can do about it. Something much bigger and angrier and more destructive than they have ever
And more
seen.
radioactive too.
Yeah, even yes, and they've literally seen nuclear bombs, go off. But the fact of the matter is that when we hear that score again, it's the hope that it fills you with, the realization that this time they have a shot, this time they can actually overcome, and to use the same score for two completely opposite purposes was just absolutely magical. Like, that made the movie for me.
Which
What
that
was-
was nostalgic to the very original. They did the same thing. They used a lot of the old source material in that movie, and I loved it.
Yeah, but what I thought was an absolutely fantastic scene was when they thought everything was lost, and he was going to use his atomic breath,
Yeah.
and the sound just cut out, and
Yep.
everyone was standing there looking, and they're like, you could see on their faces, they're like, ah, shit, this is happening again.
Oh no, it's over. We lost.
All jokes aside, the real Fukushima accident, there was there was a guy that actually witnessed it, and it like flashed his eyes. It burned his retinas to the point that he has blue eyes. He can still see, but I kind of feel like it would have been funny if there were a bunch of people with blue eyes after that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you still believe the weird idea that mutations will cause superpowers, don't you? Or
No.
being exposed to radiation.
No, that was literally just the atomic flash is all I'm talking about.
yeah, the
like
atomic
it,
flash that sparks blind, like
from the explosion. I'm surprised. Yeah, they weren't blinded by that. Or again, since a nuclear bomb can generate electromagnetic pulse, I'm surprised the boats didn't lose power. And heck, I'm surprised the damn plane didn't lose power.
Yeah. To new people here, please hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, it's also like, because I was laughing with the guys when we were watching it when he did the like blast in the middle and everyone got blasted back and they also was blasted. I'm like, cool, they're all blind now. But yeah. But anyone else have anything they want to bring up before we wrap this up and go share our stuff?
Well,
I can honestly say we've talked about everything I'm into.
Yeah, well, like I said, though, I mean, for me, everything about the movie is absolutely good. I mean, the story is good. It makes you feel for the human characters. Again,
yes,
like Koichi Shigishima's story is so well done. Noriko is a good character. The Minesweeper crew, Dr. Nada, Captain. I keep forgetting the captain, and of course, Mizushima. All are great characters. They are amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing characters.
Gamer, and you want to?
Yeah, I thought there was a good balance between the story, the people story, and then the Godzilla part. It wasn't overdone, monster battles, and you didn't have a storyline between the varied characters going back to World War II and then carrying forward that you had.
Excuse me.
You were invested in each of the characters.
Oh, absolutely. Which is something that you cannot say about the recent American ones.
No.
Yeah, and again, this movie made me say, fuck the MonsterVerse. Toho knows how to do this better.
Yeah, so as the movies go, this is a good one to watch. I didn't watch it originally, so my first watch was tonight, and it was a double thumbs up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's mainly what the MonsterVerse is. It's all spectacle is what it is, and it's gotten more spectacle with like the new. Like, I mean, I didn't see like the newer ones. The last one I saw was Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, that I don't know what the last one was, but yeah,
Godzilla X Kong, like it's a dang ship or something.
No, that's from a mechanical monster.
Hey, listen, I've been on that side of the internet. You don't want to go there.
I think. Look, I know that whole X thing, but believe me, there's some weird stuff I've seen where people have I've seen some pretty weird ships from people.
I know. Dragon,
and they're made out of wood.
Okay, so we're going to start shilling stuff. Dragon, since you're our guest tonight, is there anyone or anything you'd like to push?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Gamer.
I posted my YouTube channel in the link.
Thanking you.
Monday, I will be on Monday Night Mayhem with Trev. We're going to be discussing Hackers from 1995.
Yes, nice.
It's a fun film. I watched it for the 5th or 6th time this last weekend. So I think that'll be a fun stream. Tomorrow, are we going to be doing our Sea of Thieves?
I'll discuss that with you later on.
Yeah, but on Saturdays we've been doing that, so keep an eye out for that. And then sometimes on Fridays, hanging out on B-Sides, which would be like right about now. It starts 9 o'clock Eastern time. So yeah,
absolutely,
check it out.
My Lord Bubba, is there anyone you want to show?
All right. Okay, so first of all, I do want to, playing devil's advocate here. I do like the MonsterVerse. Like, I know you guys have been you guys have been bashing it an awful lot, and yes, this Toho movie's better, but I still like the MonsterVerse better than Shin. Like, just saying. I don't dislike any of them. I'm just saying. Like, but yeah, no, and MonsterVerse Kong is like freaking incredible. But anyway, so if the point is Godzilla, and if you got a chance to go watch a Godzilla film, grab some friends and family. Don't matter where you start, just sit down and watch the film. I promise you'll come out feeling a lot better afterwards.
Jet Sparks, anyone you want to show?
Yeah. Well, again, you can find me at JetSparks373. I have a YouTube channel. I have like every most like social media stuff except TikTok. And again, go on my channel and look up my friend Killzone772. He has an incredible YouTube channel. He just posts strictly gameplay stuff. He's done Skyrim. He recently has done Bug Snacks, and he only recently just did a little like gameplay of Killing Floor 2. But unfortunately, the beta for 3, he couldn't get in there. He couldn't even get in there. So give him some love and support. He needs more subscribers and he needs a lot of engagement. So go check him out.
Yeah.
And plus, he actually has a really good capture card he uses to make gameplay. So go check him out.
Lovely. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry that we usually started earlier. There was a bit of mishap. The movie ran a bit later than we were expecting. So, thank you, everyone. Good night, God bless, and remember, stay nerdy.